Okay, happy Easter, everybody. I am here Sunday morning. It's Easter. Got my coffee. I'm going to be painting this. I'm going to switch that over there so you guys can see it. I'm going to be painting that little crucifixion scene because this is the day that Jesus is risen. So this is his holiday. And I want to celebrate that. Some of you don't have that same belief, and that's okay. It's a great fun painting. You're going to learn some tricks in it, so take what you want out of it. But I'm giving this to you guys for free because I feel like it. And what I did with that one was I was painting another demo the other day, and I had leftover paint. So it's a great way to use up your leftover paint and not have a whole bunch. I had yellow, red. I made an orange color. Let me show you what I made. So this is something that I'm making for the kids. I do free kids tutorials all the time. So I was doing that one because somebody suggested a monster truck. So I made them orange. I have white, blue, black, and brown. It's a raw umber brown. So you get the right shade. Otherwise, you're going to have like a reddish color. So anyways, I had a really messy palette, and all I did was take and mix all my colors together. So I started off with, and you're not even going to see this, but white. And I just started doing a weird circle. It's all broken, but I'm going to make it a light yellow so you guys can see what I did there. So mix a bit of yellow and white together. And I just did this. Can you guys see how I'm doing that? Just do some circles around. It's not even connecting to anything. But you can see all the little gaps and things in there. That's where all that comes in. And then I just start layering other colors on it. So I'm going to make an orange over here. Don't have any white in it because then it kind of turns a little bit of a pukey color. You won't like it. So a little bit of red, a lot of yellow, and you make an orange. So the more red you have, the darker your orange is going to be. And then inside of those little parts that I missed, I just went around and I'm basically just cleaning my brush off. It's nothing neat. Take it flat. I put it on sharp, like going in like straight in like that. And then after I go flat. So do some straight things like that. And then later go flat. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be perfect. We're going to go back over with some more later. But basically clean your brush off. It saves you from dipping in the water too. So you can go back over with some more straight yellow in there. It's not going to look the same as the first one. It can't possibly. There's no way to forge that. You're going to eventually fill up all this stuff with color. A little bit later I can go over with some white. Put some white in there too. Let's see what white looks like if I put it in there. Nothing. It just sort of blends the colors together and muddies them up a little bit. Don't really want it to be muddy. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush off because I'm going to go in and I'm going to make some blue colors. So again, the blue, I had a pile of blue. I put some water in the center. I know my water's yellow, but I put a few drops of water in the center and I grabbed some blue and I mixed it around so it was a little bit thin. Maybe starting with thin paint, crafter's paint, and that's fine. Then you're already thin. I don't like the straight blue. I never do. So I'm taking a little bit of black and putting that in there, and it gives me a deeper blue, but a watered down deeper blue. And because there's a little bit of yellow on my brush already, it's going to have a little bit of a greenish hue to it. Just go around the outside of that. Again, just those little archy kind of things, just to keep it in the circular pattern. Don't make it solid. Go around all your outsides first. Super easy painting. bring a little bit into the center. Maybe you want to throw a little bit of white in that right now just to lighten that up. Before you go in, throw some of the lighter stuff in between those. Now it's a little more greeny color. Basically just whatever colors. I just did the yellows, and in here I had even browns. So now I'm going to clean off my brush with the blues. Go into just some brown and white. Lighten that brown and white up a little bit. Honestly, I know I did this yesterday, but I honestly can't remember the color combinations that I used. Throwing a little brown in there. I'm going to go with some more straight yellow. There we go. It's starting to blend now. Might put a little bit of water in there. Water it down. Just going to kind of get this middle part here a little more solid. I got a lot of like open canvas marks. I'll bring that closer for you. So when you get closer, you can see all my canvas lines showing in here, like little water spots. Another thing that helps with that too is if you just have a wet brush, like a damper brush, maybe I'll throw some orange in there. Yeah. What happens when it's wet? It just picks up different colors. It starts turning muddy. Don't give up on it. If it's going like this weird color here that you don't like, don't worry about that so much. Maybe don't put the blue in it first. The blue in after when it's dry. That's what we should have done, but it doesn't matter. So just with a damp brush. So I'm just going to get it wet, take most of the excess off on here so it's not dripping down. And wherever there is a canvas line showing, just with a damp brush, I go over that a little bit and they go away. The paint just sort of moves around and just sort of moves around. It covers up all those little lines, fills them all in. Magic. Water is magic. My lighting in here is terrible. I'm in my little trailer, so my lighting isn't the best. I have to make it really dark so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Then I'm going to bring some of that out with just a damp brush. I'm not even using any paint. Just going into this, grabbing some, and bringing it off out into the outside. So damp brush, take the excess off. If you don't take the excess off, you're going to get a water dribble that comes down. It's going to look awful. It's going to just take your paint off and you can't recover it. So if you see it dribbling, drag it and move some of that paint around into the outside. Just so now it's all kind of coming together. And even here where I didn't like this, I'll take some of that color off. With a damp brush, I go over it a couple of times and it removes some of that paint color that I didn't like. Lightens it up, and then I can move that to another section. Don't keep blending though, because you're going to end up taking away all the paint. It's just going to blend together in one straight color. Don't want that either. Now you could take a blow dryer to this and carry on. I'm just taking all the wet paint that I can see, going over it, bringing it to the outside. Because I can always add more paint inside later. And when I put the picture up, there was a nice glow here. It was from my light up here. That's my skylight in my trailer, and it had this nice glow. So I'm going to try and recreate something a little lighter over there. Okay, wash that brush off. Drink some coffee. All right, so many different colors that you can use. It's great. So back to my blue-black color. I hope you guys are all being safe. This, oh nice, that's a nice dark blue going in there. Seems even better, the dark blue, now that I've got all that yellow in through there. It makes more sense, so. Yeah, I like that. Hope you're staying safe this Easter and not gathering too close to people you don't know. Don't you just wish that that COVID appeared in like purple spots or something so we could see it coming, see who's got it? It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so I've got all that blue everywhere. I like it on the outside. So now what am I going to do? I think I'm going to try bringing a little bit of it back to the inside because it's just not all coming together. It's just yellow and then blue. So I'm going to take a little bit, make some weird circly motions inside here, bringing it together. So if you guys are watching this first and then painting after, you can see how it didn't look complete at first, and it might frustrate some of you because you're not seeing what you want to see, but you're never going to have the end result till the end of the painting. So never get frustrated. Just keep going. It's just a painting. And if you hate it, I'm using acrylic paint. If you hate it, all you do is take it to the bathtub, run it under hot water, give it a little scrub with your hand, and voila, practically all comes off and you can start again. This is just a really cool painting for getting rid of your paint, your leftover paint when you do a project. I hate throwing paint away. It seems like such a waste, so you might as well do something with it. This is a great one for that. I'm just cleaning up all those empty canvas, that's the name of my company. Getting rid of all of the little canvas lines that are poking through with a damp brush again. Beautiful. I like it. I totally like it. What does it look like from there? Looks good. Looks good. You see that bright white over there? That's just a reflection from the light. Okay, so let's throw a little more orange and brown in there. Orange, maybe some orange. I don't have a whole lot of orange left, but I'm going to throw some more in where I have it, maybe. Not even blending and let it sit on top. And that's all I have left of my orange. So, yay, I'm getting rid of paint. White. My water is extremely dirty, and I don't care. So my white is getting all messy now. It's got some blues and stuff in it, but I want to brighten up the inside just a touch. So if your painting is dry, I say do this, because if it's not, it's just going to make your colors muddy. But I want the inside to be just a little brighter. And then I want it bright there so it looks like the sun's all coming in from here. So I'm going to carry on with the white just up into this corner, nowhere else in the painting, just from this side. And I'm just going to make what my light from the window when I took my picture, I'm going to just create it so it looks natural. Like it was planned the whole time, because it wasn't planned the first time. But I don't want it to be straight, so I kind of crisscross here, so they're not all perfectly circular. A little bit more here. All right, so that's that. The only other brush that I used on this, the only other brush I used on this was my angle brush. If you don't have an angle brush, a medium brush is fine. As long as you can make some nice lines with it for the cross. And I actually started the cross with the big brush, so I'm just going to clean the white off that-ish. And go straight into the brown with the big brush. There's some white in there, so it's a good way to get rid of that white. And I'm going to go in like that, straight up and down, and draw a straight line down. Leaving a little bit of a space up the top here because I don't want it to be right at the top. The first one is going to be straight-ish, and the second ones are going to be shorter, same height, and they're going to bend in. So what I did watch for when I did the original one was down here, that they're spaced apart at the bottom. So when I go straight and I start over here, I made sure I left a space there. Same with there, and I just kind of made them the same distance apart. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm drawing my lines. So starting here, not right at the top, going straight down with the brush straight in. Coffee. Down the center. So it's going to start here. It's going to go down. It's picking up paint as it goes. And it's kind of cool because it looks like I highlighted not COVID. I drink coffee with that International House coffee. And I guess it's not even real dairy, but it makes me choke every morning. Always has. Okay, so see how it's pulling the paint away because it's not a solid brown. It's picked up some of the other colors or pulled paint away. It already looks like I highlighted this thing. Step saved. So that one's straight-ish. This one's a little bit lower, not to the edge. Here, come down, and then straight down to the bottom. Where I'm making the other ones thicker anyway, so it doesn't matter if you're doing this and getting a thick line, because you want to see the crosses. This is what the painting is. Or whatever it is you're painting on. Just make sure you can see it. So that one crosses down that way. Okay. Now I'm going to leave that brush. I'm going to go to my angle brush and mess around with the brown. At the top, I did like a wedge, almost like a triangle that comes narrow, but the top part is on an angle. So if you draw a line across the top, and you're going to do this with all of them. So if you draw a line across the top on an angle, have them all on the same angle. I'm going to bring it in like this so that it wedges like that, and then color it all in and make this thicker. Once it's dry, I can go over with some more brown, but this is the part that makes it funky for me. That angled edge top and then going down. So I do that with all three. And this one here, it's weird because it's sideways, so the angle doesn't look right, but yeah, there you go. And that one's already as thick as I want it to be because I push hard with my big brush. And this one here, the angle 2, facing the top. Triangle it in. And it too is already the angle that I want it to be. Now, with the cross beam, it is also on an angle like this, not straight across. If you want it to be in the middle straight across, but I liked it angled, so that's all pointing up to the light. So I have it on an angle like that. So I just draw a straight line. And then here, same thing, I make that wedge piece. If you step back and that doesn't look right, it's too short for me on this side, I'm going to extend it a little bit. And now it looks proportional. But I'm not standing in front of it, so. You can even take, if you want it to be a little darker, you can take a little black and move it in with your brown. That's going to make your brown a little deeper. You don't want it to be black, but black brown is good. So here, same thing, on an angle. Make your wedge. And then we just have like a little bit of a highlight on these things because they disappear a little bit in the darkness. So I want to bring those to light in this one here. So they're all pointing to the main cross. Wedge. That wedge is not straight across, it's on an angle as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to deepen up that cross with the rest of the paint that I have. And if you've already got it light on that side, just leave it light. Just darken the one side and it'll already look like you've highlighted it. Or you can do the whole thing in really dark, and then we're going to go over with some white. If you got any white left. I love this painting. Super easy. I mean, your kids can do this one too. It's not a hard painting. I don't think. It's supposed to be messy, so, I mean, how do you mess that up? All right, clean off that brush. If you have a smaller brush, like a little round pointy one, and you want to highlight with that, then that's your brush. I'll highlight with it right now. So I'm going to highlight the lights coming in this side. So I'm going to just throw some white across the top of this and down this one side. Because it's wet, it's picking up all that white. This one is going to go over the top. So don't go straight over that piece. Miss it. Skip it. And then just a little bit of white as you go, especially in the dark bits. That just looks like the sun's reflecting on it. And then across the top, and then go right across that center. If you can see, there, right across the center. If it goes and you do too much white, it's okay. Don't freak out. Just let it dry, because you're just going to keep getting like light shades of brown. The whole thing will just be light brown. You'll get it lighter and lighter and lighter. You won't be able to make it dark because it's got white. So on here, the white is going to be on the top because the light's up there. That goes right over top. And a little bit on here. Same here, the light's coming in, so the light's going to be on that right side. And then I'm going on there. Now I can see where the end of that is. There. So that one there has got too much. It's got too much white on it. So I'm going to go to my brownie black color and see if I can't repair it. You'll see what I mean. It probably won't go dark. Yeah, see, it won't go dark until you dry it. It's hard. If I just do black, it'll just go gray. But there you go. And then all you're going to do is just sign that copy and you're done. All right. Thanks, guys. Happy Easter. Stay safe. I hope your day is full of total happiness. Thanks for painting with me. See you soon.